How's it going, guys? So Jay from DL Stafford Martial Arts here. I've been asked a question, so I thought I might as well pop on live and see if I can answer it. So the question is, will I get into trouble for using my self-defense skills? And the answer to that question is sometimes yes, you can. But there is a reason. There is a reason why. So you can get into trouble for numerous things. One of the reasons why you can get into trouble is because you go over the top. So what's called excessive force. So if you use your self-defense skills as you should, and a lot of martial artists don't really know how to use their self-defense skills in a real situation. For example, let's say you get into an altercation and the guy pushes you and then you absolutely kick the crap out of him. So this is not self-defense, that's excessive force. So just because somebody pushes you, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to do anything else. So, you know, getting your knife out of a pocket or a pen and then stabbing the person with it just because they pushed you is excessive force, and you will get into trouble. Now, let's say you have 5 or 6 guys and they are very aggressive, and you break the nose of one guy by punching him and all the rest of them. That you'd be pretty safe with that, simply because it's self-defense. And self-defense is deemed by the amount of force that you use at any specific point. And what I mean by that is that every circumstance is different. So you have to look at the level of violence that you're that you find yourself in. So when there's a lot of pushing and shoving, it could escalate into a more violent situation. But you've got to look at 2 things. Everybody's going to be safe using their own self-defense skills if they think about these couple of things. The force that you use has to be reasonable. It also has to be proportionate, and it has to be necessary. If you haven't got those elements, you are screwed. So the 2 elements that you really got to focus on is necessary, proportionate. So here's a proportionality rule. So let's just say a kid, 18, 19, he nicks a packet of biscuits from the local supermarket. The security guard chases him down the street, grabs a hold of him, and in the meantime falls on him and breaks his arm. So what you've got now is you've got a theft. A crime has happened, but the packet of biscuits cost you about £1. So you have to excuse me. I don't know why that's ringing. But it costs about £1. So in the meantime, that person has broken the arm of that other person, of the thief. It's cost him £1, and he's got a broken arm. So £1, a broken arm. This is what you have to do, is you have to weigh it up. So does £1 in money equal to a broken arm? It doesn't really, does it? Is it really necessary to chase a thief down for a packet of biscuits? No. So if it's not necessary, it can't be proportionate, and if it's not proportionate, it can't be necessary. That's as simple as it goes. I'll give you another example. There is a guy on the 4th floor of a hospital, and he is looking like he's going to jump out the window. People are totally convinced he's now going to jump out the window. So a couple of male nurses drag the person back in. He suffers a broken arm, a bit of a split lip. Is it excessive force? No. They genuinely thought he was going to jump out the window. If you jump from a 4th floor, the likelihood of you dying is really high. So a broken arm compared to death, you can see my point, right? It was necessary to save his life. So the broken arm and a bit of a split lip is completely necessary, which means it will be proportionate to the amount of harm that would have been caused if he was allowed to jump out of the window, which would have been death. Broken arm, death, you can see that that really balances out well. And that's really what you've got to remember, is that those two elements are really important. Necessary, proportionate. If it's not proportionate, it can't be necessary. And if it's not necessary, it can't be proportionate. There you go. See you soon.